Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. Today I'm talking about how to tell your best friend that you like her. So the main thing I kind of want to talk about this because I have a lot of experience with doing this kind of thing, and all of that experience was pretty bad. So I'm going to tell you basically what you should avoid doing so you don't kind of have the same embarrassment as what I did growing up as a teenager. Because I'm assuming if you're searching up this kind of video, you're relatively young. And basically, if you have a crush on your best friend, you kind of need to figure out, do I actually have a chance with this girl? How likely is it that she's actually going to say yes? Because if you're unsure that she likes you as well, and it's not obvious to you that she likes you as well, then there's a very high chance that she doesn't like you as well. And basically, what happened with me when I was a teenager was I used to get crushes on girls I got close to. So sometimes it was a best friend, sometimes it was just a regular friend. And then I would tell them that I liked them. Or sometimes I would even say that I loved them. I would go really heavy with it, right? I come on too strong, basically. And it never ended well. None of those circumstances ever ended well. It always made things really weird and awkward afterwards. And it just never was successful. Nothing ever came out of those kinds of things. I think mostly because I was obviously asking out girls that were straight when I was clearly not. And I also went about it the wrong way because I would be really intense about it. Like I would say I was in love with them, or I would say I was really, really into them, or that I really, really, really liked them. When I should have probably just been a bit more less intense about it, basically. I probably should have just asked them out, or I could have just asked them, tested the waters and asked if they were gay as well, or something like that. Rather than going, straight in there with like a love letter or sending like a huge message on Messenger and stuff like that. So you kind of need to figure out, do I actually really have a chance with them? And another question that I would ask as well is, do you actually really genuinely have a huge crush on them? Or is it just something that you've made up in your own head? Because I had this experience once where I really liked the way how my crush looked on social media, but when I actually hanged out with them in person, I really didn't really like their personality and stuff. I just thought they looked nice on social media. Like I liked the way that their photos looked and how they looked in photos. But when I was actually around them, it was kind of like a different story. Like I was like, why am I so attached to this person? When I'm around them, I don't really like them that much. But yet when I kind of like look on their social media, like I really like them. So that kind of like that illusion sometimes that social media can sometimes affect the way that you're thinking and feeling about someone. But anyway, so if you actually think you do have a chance with this girl, whoever she may be, if she's your best friend, if you have a chance with her, then the best thing for you to do is probably just to ask her out. Probably just, and when I say ask her out, I don't mean going up to her and asking her to be your girlfriend. I mean asking her out on a date, right? You can't, because I think when I was a teenager, I didn't really get the whole courting process. I thought people just ended up in relationships. Because that's kind of like what you see at school. A guy goes up to a girl and asks her out, like, will you be my girlfriend? And then it kind of happens. But, the best way to actually do this kind of thing is to kind of do like a dating process. And obviously, if you're really young, then you won't be able to go out to a bar or have a drink with them or anything like that. But you can like hang out, So you kind of want to hang out with them alone, just you two, outside of school, and basically see how it goes, basically. So all you need to really say is just say, hey, I think you're really cute. When are you free to hang out? Just the both of us, because I'd really like to get to know you better. That's all you need to say to them, and then just wait for her to respond with when she's available. And if she likes you, she'll say yes and she'll want to do that. And if she doesn't like you, then she'll come up with an excuse or she'll say no thanks. But you kind of want to put it out there that you're interested in her. Another thing that you might want to address as well is the randomness of the situation, because obviously if she's your best friend and you are both besties, then it's going to be kind of awkward if you just go up to her and ask her out. It may seem to her like it's coming from out of the blue and she has no idea why you're doing it. So it's good to address, before you ask her when she's available. You ask her, hey, you know what, this might seem really random, and I know we've known each other for a long time, but I actually think you're really cute. When are you available to hang out? Just us two, because I'd really love to get to know you more. That's kind of like how you need to approach it if she is your best friend and she sees you as a best friend as well. So, that's kind of what you need to do. But I really do warn you when you do this kind of thing, and I have to warn you because it's not the best approach to go for a best friend, because you can sometimes, if you have a crush on someone, you just have to deal with it yourself. Like it's not for them to sort out for you. So sometimes it's best to actually not say how you feel about someone if you think it's actually going to ruin a really good friendship. It's best to just battle with that inside yourself, speak to someone about it, but don't put that on your best friend. If you have a crush on your best friend, there's no one else's fault about that but yourself. You're the reason why you have a crush on her. So, sometimes if you feel like, okay, yeah, I have a crush on my best friend, but I really doubt she's going to reciprocate the feelings. So I kind of need to just, deal with this myself, get over it myself, and start finding someone who actually is emotionally available and ready to date me, and someone who would be willing to be my girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it may be. You need to kind of think about that a lot. You need to take it really seriously, because all the situations basically in my life where I've gone up to a really good friend who I suddenly got a crush on, or just an acquaintance who I had a really big crush on, but was kind of like in my inner circle. Every time I did that, now looking back from the age of 29, I'm embarrassed about it. I'm embarrassed about all those times as a teenager I went up to someone that I was friends with, who I really liked, who was a bestie, and I told her that I liked her. I regret all of those things all the time. And I think about them quite a lot as well. Like these kind of things, you think about a lot when you have kind of hindsight and you have maturity. And I regret all of those times I did it. And I think I probably did it about 3 or 4 times. And yeah, I regret every single one of those, because I ruined friendships. And I potentially could still be friends with a lot of those girls that I asked out, but I'm no longer friends with them because I felt like what happened between us became too weird, and it kind of freaked them out basically, and they no longer really showed the same level of enthusiasm to be my friend after those kinds of circumstances. So there is a real consequence to you saying that you have a big crush on your best friend to your friend. So you need to figure out, do I actually have a chance with her? Because if I have a chance, then it's going to be fine if I ask her out and if I ask her to hang out with me, and we do so in a more private way, in a more romantic way, basically. But there's also that you have to think of, is that true? Are they going to reciprocate? Is it likely that they're going to reciprocate? And if it's not, then I personally think it's best to just deal with that internally by yourself. Don't tell your friend about it. Get over it and find someone else who could actually be your girlfriend or boyfriend, and try not to ruin your friendship. Okay? And you might be thinking right now, but my feelings are so intense. My feelings are so strong for her. I'm never going to get rid of it. You will. Trust me, you will. I no longer have a crush on those girls that I had crushes on when I was a teenager. In fact, I kind of regret it. I wish we'd stayed friends. I wish I hadn't said anything to them, because then I would still have ththose good friendships, perhaps. I don't know. But obviously, all these kinds of things happen for a reason, and I did learn from them. And, so, you really need to think about these things. I personally don't think it's a good idea. But if you really, really do think, though, that she will say yes and she'll want to go out with you as well, then do so in such a way that it's not as intense. Don't confess your feelings. Don't tell her that you're in love with her or anything like that. Don't be so dramatic about it, basically. Just ask her, like the example I gave. Go up to her and say, hey, you know what, this may sound a bit random because we've been friends for such a long time, but I actually think you're really cute. When are you available to hang out? Because I'd really like to get to know you better, just us two. And then just see what she says. And if she says no, then the best thing for you to do after that kind of thing is obviously don't ever bring it up again, and just say to them, oh, okay, well, no worries, just take it as a compliment. I hope this doesn't affect our friendship. Just take it as a compliment. And then don't bring it up. And whenever you're around her, don't act mopey, don't act weird, just try and be yourself. Try not to basically show that it didn't affect you. So she doesn't feel awkward about it and you don't feel awkward about it. Just carry on as normal, basically. And again, like if it does come up, and she says something about it, just say, hey, don't worry about it, it's fine, I'm cool, just take it as a compliment, okay? And then get on with your friendship, basically. And I think that's probably the best approach to take. But if you don't think there's a chance, then don't even try, don't even bother asking her out. Focus on getting, finding someone who you can date, who is available, who would go out with you, who would date you. And that's the advice that I have on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.